Welcome back to Ink Circle, guys. Today we're talking about how much tattoos actually cost. This is mostly for collectors, but honestly a lot of tattoo artists ask me all the time how I price things too. Everyone kind of has their way about doing things, and this is how I do it. First and foremost is size. The size of the tattoo. I'm gonna start out with minimum. Most places I would say today it's 2025. I think the cheapest minimum I've ever heard is $100 in this day and age. That is for minimum tattoo, means minimum tattoo. That typically for me would mean one color and one needle size. So bare minimum, an affinity symbol. Those are actually really hard to do and do them right. Second thing I'd like to talk about is complexity. How much details are in it. Am I using 3 different needle sizes or 10 different needle sizes? That's too many needle sizes. Is it color or black and gray? Color always takes longer than black and gray. Third thing, and a lot of people don't actually think about, is body placement. So a forearm is easier to tattoo than ribs. Takes a lot less time to do than ribs. If you do the same thing on forearm versus ribs, by the time you stretch that, it becomes much larger, and the clients do not sit as well as a forearm tattoo. So body placement is pretty important. Then we're going to go into like a little different, thing that actually makes a lot of difference, and pricing. Which studio are you getting tattooed at? Is it a popular studio? Is it a less popular studio? Is it in a touristy area where everything is more expensive? Imagine a tattoo studio in Disney World where a Coca-Cola is $4,000. The tattoo minimum would be, I don't know, $400,000. Is it a small town? They have cheaper rent. They don't have to make as much, or they can actually make more, because they have cheap rent by charging less, doing more volume. How nice is the place? A lot of people don't like to, actually talk about this. Is it a Motel 6 style tattoo studio, or is it Ritz-Carlton, where they greet you at the door and offer you some tea? Or, anywhere in between. But, price-wise, Motel 6 and Ritz-Carlton's obviously very different pricing. Thirdly, I would like to talk about the actual artist. How busy are they? Are they insta-famous or just really good and been busting their butt for a long time, pumping out good tattoos? They're probably going to be more expensive, They're not going to need to be the cheapest guy on the block. So that kind of gets even to more skilled. Probably going to, you're going to get a better tattoo, you're going to pay for it. Is it less skilled? You're probably going to, guy starting out or just never got the hang of it, he's probably going to be cheaper. A Kia and a Porsche is very different pricing. So I like to kind of save people, a palm size tattoo. I have big palms. I would say $300, kind of starting out, nothing too crazy or anything. I can probably do it in about 20 30 minutes. Sleeves, kind of the biggest, most popular thing as far as bigger tattoos. I think the cheapest I've done a sleeve is probably $2,000. You're talking 3, 4, 5 sittings. That's the cheapest, like small person, simple design, $2,000. Just real, sleeves are, you're dealing with a lot of movement and different planes. It's not the most fun way to map out and get that composition just right. So of course it's going to be more expensive. It should be. Hope this helped you guys out. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comments below. I'd like to hear from you. Thanks.